let's just go ahead and entertain all of this circus trade proposals here. Are like, give me your round robin on a possible Jameson Williams trade outside of the circus.
I don't see them making a move like that. I mean, that's just not in their DNA. I mean, they don't trade or give away their players. I think the homegrown guys, the guys they draft, they're just not in the mix for that. So I don't think that's reality. But we have talked about what's going to happen with J-Mo, and we were very supportive of the 5th-year extension. I think both of us, I don't want to speak for you, but I think we're both sitting there thinking that's a no-brainer. So in their mind, like, they have a free year with him. So I would just sit on it and wait. And in my opinion, I mean, if there was going to be a guy, I'll try to play both sides. If there was going to be one guy that I might say, okay, if you can get something back that you just can't refuse, a couple first. I mean, nobody's given 2 first-round picks for J-Mo. That's the thing. It's like the value isn't even really there. So what would other teams really give back to you?
Yeah, and it's to me it's ridiculous, completely ridiculous. Like, why would you? I mean, really, for one, are you going to replace that downfield threat? Right, you have to replace the production. You can't just trade the guy. I mean, I'm not in the business of taking talent off of my team for the hopeful that I might be able to replace it. I have the talent on my team right now. Why would I want to replace it? Even if I could draft one of these, like this golden guy from Texas who runs a 4.28, there ain't no guarantee he's Jameson Williams. I mean, you guys crazy? And, what they want, I've seen a couple of these scenarios where, he goes to Dallas for what ends up being like they give us like the 12th, we give them the 28 and a 3rd round pick back. It's like, that's not enough. You're in dreamland. Mm-hmm. Like, give us the 12th overall pick for Jameson Williams, and we might have the 12th overall pick and a 3rd round pick for Jameson. We might have a conversation.
That'd be a Dallas move right there. I just think that's so outside of even Dallas's scope. That would be a mistake. I think you're taking such a huge risk and giving up an opportunity for your future. But you're right. That's the craziness that would have to occur to even consider it. I agree with you. I'd have to get something that puts me in the top 15, top 10. But even that sounds ridiculous when I even say it out loud.
On the probability scale of 1 to 100, I put this at like 0.5% of 1%. Like, mm-hmm. I'm not even giving this 1% credibility. There's no way it's happening in this offseason. What say you?
I'm with you. 1,000%. No.
Yeah. Now, going for next year, like when you're trying to play, how much is a guy worth or whatever. Now, what the Lions are hopeful for is that he is who he says he is and who he's been playing like, and then he has a great season, like a 1,500-yard season with like 12 to 15 touchdowns. Then you're having this conversation next offseason, and then I'm going to put that probability up to, probably 50% at that point, just because of where we're at in the salary cap and way different salary cap situation next year with a lot of these cap hits starting to come due and everything. So maybe next offseason, but not where his value is right now. They're not going to be able to give you enough for what Jameson Williams could be worth, because how would you like to do that? How would you like to trade him for what that scenario was where you're just moving up in the draft and getting a 3rd round pick, and then he goes to Dallas and he becomes him? Oof. And then you're like, oh, you traded him for a 3rd round pick? Are you kidding me? Like, stop it. You gotta don't cash in too early.
I'm in the Big Dan camp. He's saying that we pick up the 5th year, and then the following we look to possibly franchise tag. I honestly think that's more of the reality situation. I think it saves the Lions money. It gives them an extra year with him, kind of. But doesn't it also depend on like what his year is this year? Because if he just goes off and, like you said, goes 1,500, 12 touchdowns plus, that number goes up. So then you got to figure out, is it really even worth franchise tagging him rather than doing a long-term extension and maybe saving money now, right? But I'm with you, Big Dan. I think with the possibility, I think he has a similar season like he had last year, maybe a couple more tutties. But outside of that, I don't see an ultimate explosion based on the other options the Lions have on offense. If anything, I see Jahmyr Gibbs becoming him. I can't
Right
lose.
now, it's an embarrassment of riches. So, like, let's realistically, the villain says this. The villain says that we're going to have Jameson Williams on this team for the next 1 or 2 years and just enjoy it. Because you can't pay 7 first-round draft picks, which is the essential what they got with, a Kirby and Hutchinson and Panay and Amon-Ra, Jack Campbell, Jahmyr Gibbs. You can't pay all those players. So somebody's going to go. And, when you're looking at price per position and receivers becoming $35-40 million commodities, can't pay 2 guys like that. Just like on the defensive line, you got to spread those big contracts out. You could possibly afford 2 safeties. That's why I think that there's a better chance of keeping Kirby and Branch than there is of keeping Jameson Williams.
Yeah, if the 2 safeties were more similar in their play style, I think we'd have a different conversation. But because Kirby and Branch play off of each other so well, and to me, Branch is just a different kind of player, different mold than Kirby. I think you can justify it because you got 2 different skill sets. Wide receiver, though, it's still, and although I think, like you said, the dollar amount's getting up there, I still think, in my opinion, wide receiver is something you can year over year get talent and find free agents and maybe draft the right players here and there. Obviously, you have your staple St. Brown, and that should continue, but then you play off of that. I just think that's the one position you can make those kind of things happen.